Welcome, your Rich Imperial Reviews, and today's review is Trouble, a Netflix film. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Let's get into it. So this is a movie that, looking for something to watch. It's holiday season, and I came about it. It was recommended or on there, and it's not really a comedy. Well, it is supposed to be a comedy, but it's more like humorous. So the synopsis is Connie is a divorced salesman, gets wrongfully imprisoned for murder. There, he meets criminals who mistake him for a pilot, like his ex-wife's new boyfriend. Chaos ensues, and as he navigates life behind bars, he's separated from his daughter. So that's exactly that synopsis is the exact plot. It's just how it happens. So let's go over the cast. So you got the cast of Philip Berg as Connie, Amy Desmond as Diana, Maine as Hasi, Ava Melander as Helena, and who's the that's pretty much the cast right there. So what you got going on? The movie starts off with a man is in a parking lot. He's witnessing somebody getting killed or getting drug out of a car, and he's pretty much filming it. They happen to see him. When they see him, he jumps in his car and tries to drive off. He drives off. So while this is going on, now it flips to Connie. Connie works for a company where he installs televisions and programs and televisions and all that. So when he goes and he's at work, he asks for more hours so he can do more things for his daughter in this divorce situation he got going on. The wife moved on pretty much, and the wife new guy is a pilot. He's making money, stuff like that. So she's trying to compete, need money for his daughter. So now what you got going on is while Connie's at work, he's looking for more hours. He runs into Diana, and you don't know Diana is an actual police officer at the time, but what she's doing, she's there to look at headphones, and he helps her, and he kind of didn't lead off that he works there and she's looking for service, and he helped her, gave her the right headphones to get, and he was nice to her. So his boss comes out, meaning Connie's boss came up, pretty much said, you looking for extra hours, I got an install for you to do. So he goes and does this install. And so when he goes and do the install, a wife answers the door. When she answers the door, she pretty much is saying, hey, I got somewhere to be. And the wife name is Mimi. And so she pretty much says, I got somewhere to be, and how long is this going to take? He pretty much said, well, it's not going to take that long, Meanwhile, he's programming everything. He's programming everything on the TV. And what he said is, you'll be able to connect your TV to the phone, and then you can have your phone as a screen service. So he got these headphones, so he can't really hear what's going on. So finally the wife say, look, I gotta go. I'll be away for 30 minutes. So he like, okay, cool. She like, you gonna be cool here by yourself? And he was like, yeah. So that's a flag. He should have just left and said, hey, I'll be here. I'll come back, or we gotta reschedule once you leave. Nevertheless, he stayed there. He put his headphones on. He still programmed the TV. Meanwhile, Joseph comes home. That's Mimi's husband. He comes home. He's the one that was filming what was going on, capturing someone getting drug out. Meanwhile, the people are after him. So he comes in. He got everything on his phone. So he hides his phone up in downstairs up in like the light fixture thing or whatever. So the bad man comes in. He's fighting with Joseph. Joseph's fighting, and he's fighting to the death. He eventually get bested. He gets killed. So when Connie turns around because he needs a tool, he gets up. He see Joseph bleeding out, and he grabbed the screwdriver because he heard something. Now he turned around looking, and from the back, the bad man knocks Connie out. Connie falls to the ground. When he wakes up, Mimi comes in the door. When Mimi comes in the door, Connie has the screwdriver. Her husband is bled out. So this is how Connie gets locked up and go to jail. So he like, hey, I didn't do anything. So they bring him into interrogation. Meanwhile, he sees Diana, who doesn't think like, he didn't come off. I just seen him in the store. He didn't come off like he's capable of doing that type of thing or whatever. So that's interesting. So she took a liking to him, like, I'm gonna look more into this case. Meanwhile, you got the head boss, well, the second to head boss, Helena, and you have the underling to her with Diana. So it's two underlings, Hossie and Diana. They're on the same level, and then they got Helena, and then they got somebody bigger than on top of her. And the person on top of her is Joseph. I got the names mixed up on that. Joseph is the guy that's on top of I mixed that up. My bad. Joseph is the guy on top of Helena. So nevertheless, from there, Connie gets locked up. Meanwhile, you got two underworld bosses that's inside of the prison, and they're looking to get out. And so you got the head boss, and then you got his guy that's underneath him, and then they got one other third person. Now his guy, his number 2, is a hothead. So the third guy that they had part is he got beat up or whatever. So now they need a third person. Meanwhile, they pick Connie in the laundry. So Connie's downstairs in the laundry area one day, and he noticed a air draft, and before he know it, behind the wall it was an opening. So he's desperate to get out of there. So he follows the path, follows a bag that got a phone and clothes. He put the phone and clothes on, gets up, and he visits his the woman Mimi, and pretty much tell her, hey, I didn't do this to your husband. I was framed. I think I can find out who killed your husband. Before your husband died, he said something about his phone. Where's his phone? So right when that the comic relief humorous part come in, it's the day of the funeral, and the family's there, and then one of the old elderly family members came and said, hey, you the one that killed that they said killed him. And he was like, no, I came from Australia. So that's like supposed to be a humorous moment. And then the wife kind of like believed him and was like took up for him or whatever. So now Connie in the interrogation room, he mentioned that there's a phone out there that basically will, if they find a phone, they'll find the information. So from there, Connie he called he had a burner phone in jail. So he called his daughter, pretty much told his daughter he gonna get out. And so what happened was he ended up getting a lawyer. And so the lawyer he got is a crooked lawyer. He find out later on, and he was assigned. That lawyer was assigned to him basically to make sure that he take the fall for everything and don't do a good job and don't really investigate. So when Connie gets back into the jail, he gets back in the jail. He keeps the burner phone with him, and they notice something about him. And so when they look for Connie, he had a picture. His wife, ex-wife, comes in with the daughter, and they give him a picture, but it's a picture of the pilot the daughter and the ex-wife. So that's just to make matters worse. So he pretty much tears the picture off the um, new husband and puts the picture of the daughter and the ex-wife, and then his face is off. So when one of the goons looking for him see that he got a pilot uniform, so they instantly think, well, the third person that they got that he injured, well, I got a replacement because he could fly. So Connie just went along with it. So they like, all right, we're gonna leave in 5 days, but then that got cut short. So they like, we gotta leave on Thursday. And so now that's become a big adventure because now they gotta find the phone. Meanwhile, Connie's in bed with the criminals. They want him to fly their plane or whatever. So what happens is the wife Mimi is at home. She's thinking, oh, like where could he have put this phone at? So she lays on the bed and looks up at the light fixture and sees that there's the phone. And so at the time she hooks up the phone, Connie told her it will automatically connect to the TV. So Helena, which is a dirty cop, comes in to investigate to see if she found the phone or found anything. And then the wife was pretty much, well, I thought the investigation was over. Like, were you still coming here to talk to me about it for? So right while Helena was talking, the footage came on the screen of what Mimi's husband recorded, and it showed Helena was there, and she took her hood off. So right at that moment, Helena turned around, and then Mimi hurry up and unplugged or turned the TV off, and pretty much said, "I gotta go." So what Mimi did at that moment, um, not Mimi, Helena, when she left, pretty much said, "Hey, put this phone number underneath um, to be tapped, phones tapped, basically illegally, but they did it anyway." And so what Mimi did, she called the number that Connie gave her, the burner phone, and Connie was like, "You can't call me on this phone." Nevertheless, she called her on the burner phone and pretty much was like, "Hey, you're right. Um, the cop is dirty, and we got to get this in the right authorities' hands." And so what Connie was pretty much saying, "Hey, we need to get this in my lawyer's hand." But now that becomes the next adventure. But now the criminals is got loose. They want Connie to fly the plane. They get to the airport, and then Connie don't really know how to drive planes, so he put the plane in coast, crawled out of out of the window in the pilot area, and then let the plane just drift off while he rolled off and stuck his middle finger up and left. So this whole parts is action packed, decent film. Long story short, Helena almost got away with everything. She had the lawyer, the dirty lawyer involved, and the other goon that was on the uh that was on the same level as Diana. She had him involved. Joseph, which was the head, you kind of thought he might have been involved at first, but he really wasn't. He just was believing that Helena was doing her job. And then Diana, she stayed true to Connie, believed Connie was innocent the whole time, so she stayed fighting all the way through the end. So it was a moment when Connie and Diana was together and they was both on a run, and they thought Connie was like in on everything, and so they end up at the end was able to clear Connie's name, and they picked the footage. With the footage, they end up the phone ended up getting damaged because Helena eventually she shot Connie at one point, and when he faded out in the hospital, she took the phone from him and put it and fried it in a microwave. And then at that point, that's when Diana and Helena start fighting in Connie's room, and they end up getting him free, and that's when they was on the run. But what happened was the footage was stored in the cloud, and so what they was able to do at the hotel, link the footage on the camera system, and when Joseph was in riding in the elevator with Helena, he got a chance to see the footage that Helena was part of it. They locked her up, and pretty much so the two goons that left out of the prison, one of the main head goon got killed, and then the one that was like the enforcer, he kept coming after Connie different moments and like, you owe me money, you cost me 50 million. So it was a time when Connie ended up getting a bag full of money from messing with Helena and a dirty lawyer, and he found the enforcer goon, gave him the money, said, here, we even, gave him a bag full of money. Did that ended with that. So overall, this is a decent film, humorous, and it's not a must watch, but you won't be disappointed when you watch it. So out of my 4-star rating system, I give it a 2 out of 4 stars. Check it out on Netflix when you get the opportunity. Subscribe to the channel. Till next time.